Warning. The views and thoughts and opinions of just enjoy.
Neutral terms.
Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo.
At me, so you know exactly which.
Hey kids, it's Craig.
Which out of focus character I was.
I tried to fix that. It was. There's no way I could fix that. I don't have that. I would have to go to the original film and find a different take. I tried.
No, and just what and watching it because it was August 14th, 2000. Or when it happened, 90. Yeah.
Oh no, like 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just remember it being so hot that day because I'm looking at it like I was not that dark at the beginning of the day. And I got a terrible tan.
And for those out there who think black people don't tan.
Yeah, they do. I, for the longest time, didn't think we sunburn, and I found that out.
That is incorrect, too.
Yes, when I was a camp counselor and made fun of my fellow counselors.
I'm so sorry.
Because we had a beach weekend we had a weekend for ourselves before the kids show up. It was my first job. And I was turning 21 turning 20 that summer. And we had a beach weekend. This is in North Jersey. And before the kids came, so we were all out on the beach and they were passing around their suntan lotion. And they said, Greg, you want some? I think we don't sunburn. That's for your people, and making fun of them and all that. Yeah, and I just get darker. I don't get suntan. Not like you guys.
Oops.
And then a couple days later, couldn't understand why when I touched my skin, it still felt hot. And then, fellow counselor tapped me on the back and said, God, it's like, don't touch me, man.
I know.
Like, why does that hurt? And what is this? And I have no frame of reference, so I have no idea what it was. And I thought I was sick. I didn't eat so. And then my skin started
hot right now.
Why am I hot? Why when I touch this part of me, it's still hot? And why am I like my shoulder still hot?
What is going on?
Yeah. And somebody told me, no, Craig, you're sunburned. I said, no. we don't get sunburn. No. It's obviously something else. Let's go with skin cancer or something.
Let's go right to skin cancer.
It's sunburn. So yeah, found that out the hard way and peeled for the rest of the week.
Yeah. Well, I used to think, well, I'm Italian, it's fine. Then I forgot. First time I got real bad sunburn, I was like, oh, my mom's Irish.
Oh yeah.
Right. Right. Here's the whole bottle of that blue shit. Hey, Sami Zayn is the WWE champion, and I will give them credit. Didn't think that was going to happen. I even liked the end.
Yeah, I called it a little bit on our previous podcast. I said I wouldn't be surprised if they did put the belt on Sami.
And I even went, what?
Yeah.
Why? Oops.
It can still be a why because of but and I don't know why Bob Holly was giving him shit
I don't know why Bob Holly was giving him shit either, but the less I say, there's less a chance of him kicking my ass.
Yeah, but well, I mean, the jealousy is real. About, of course, how Sami looks.
Craig said that. Not me.
I said it, Mr. Holly.
Mr. Holly, that was Craig, and that's a hate crime, so you can't touch him.
But obviously, we're all happy for him, and the people that do know him and his background and where he came from, spent a lot of time here in Philly, in the Ring of Honor and CZW as El Generico, and to go from that to, he wrestled Johnny Knoxville and the Jackass Crew in a WrestleMania match, and to go from that to an honorary Uso and to the last good guy. Obviously, and it was something that I knew intrinsically. It said Sammy's going to be world champion. I don't know under what circumstances, but he's going to be a world champion only because the guy just can't help but be over no matter what character or quote unquote gimmick they give him. I will say though, I miss the news he's had and the kicking entrance and his old T-shirt where like that. But yeah, this is great for him, and it gives you more possibilities for possible opponents. Now, as we're recording this, SmackDown has already been done and taped and stuff, and I don't know what happened there, but one of the many possibilities one could have is Sami as champion is a match with Kevin, his longtime friend, with obviously a rematch with either Cody or Gunther. We'll give him that. Oba still has his choice of world champions since he won King of the Ring. And there's also, when CM Punk is out there. It's due to make his return soon. And there's the talk of Jey Usos. And I'm going over to SmackDown to have a chat with Sami. And that could turn into
do you want an answer without any spoilers?
I just want to make this point before you give me, and yeah, the answer is yes, I do. But if it is Jey Uso that ends up with the title match at SummerSlam, so you would have Oba, who won King of the Ring, forgoing a title shot to get his revenge on Brock, and then you have Jey Uso, who lost the King of the Ring, getting a title match against Sami. So, which begs the question, HIAC Talk Radio listeners and viewers, what the fuck was the point of the King of the Ring?
Well, I will tell you.
Yes.
I'll answer it like this. Mm-hmm. That you won't have to worry about that.
Okay.
And Sami's still champ.
Good.
And what me saying you don't have to worry about that answers 3 of those questions.
Okay.
In a good way. And that's all I'm going to say. I forgot it was actually I forgot it was in Atlantic City.
I was reminded of that on Tuesday that
it's in Atlantic City.
Yeah, that SmackDown was already taped, and that this Friday show will be it's pre-recorded.
See, I can look up spoilers like that and then go away because I will immediately forget.
Yeah, I've been trying to stay off social media because I didn't want SmackDown spoilers. Fortunately, I've been all over social media because of our local basketball team making a splash in free agency.
Yeah.
I was waiting for D-Mac to join, but I can't.
We'll bring it back up again. And this just happened to be the shirt I wore today.
Yeah.
This basketball jersey. Holy shit.
Exactly.
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, it's going to be tough because I can tell you guys in confidence, and you don't have to tell this to anyone else.
I hate that motherfucker.
I fucking hated that
guy. Me too.
I mean, he's a Celtic, so that, and he was the number 3 pick the year we picked Ben Simmons. And then he goes on to be one of the best players in the league for the last 10 years on the team that I hate the most. And he turns out to be an a-hole and a killer to us when we play him, and just a whack job. Space Cadet bothered more by the fact that he is the smartest guy in the room. That he was had turned down an internship to NASA, master's degree, all that stuff. So it's like, God, why? Not that I want you to be stupid, but it's like,
why can't you be stupid?
That would be easier for me to hate
Yeah.
you, but now I can't. Guys that grew up in Atlanta, put it this way, guys that grew up in the streets of Atlanta, don't go to Stanford, don't go to colleges on a full ride on the West Coast. And smart and gifted. I said all that to say, I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic about Sixers basketball. And I'll tell you this, kids, shows you how old I am. I haven't been this excited since the Sixers got Moses Malone. in the summer of 1982. When we got the last time the Sixers got a guy of this caliber, Moses Malone was the reigning MVP of the league. And the Sixers had just come off of losing another NBA Finals to the Lakers. And then we get Moses Malone.
It's weird. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And what we gave up for Moses Malone is akin to what we gave up to get Jaylen Brown, which has me still like, are you sure?
Yeah, is he working for them still? Like, what's the deal? What's the deal with Jaylen?
What's the deal with Jaylen? Because I thought if we were going to get Moses Malone, we'd have to give up Doc. It's like, wait, they're going to play on the same team?
Yeah, no, they gave him to the team with Doc. Wait, what?
Huh?
Okay.
And history was, but that's the last time. So, and we gave up Paul George and some draft picks that won't matter in 3 years.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I would have been like, no, but I'm like, all right, bye, Paul.
Yeah.
You can concentrate on your podcast over there now.
Yeah, and even though Paul did dog Jaylen Brown in that epic series where we came back 3-1.
Yes, he did.
Critics are quick to point out, he dogged him in the first half, but the second half, he was invisible.
Yes, he was.
And that was the Tyrese Maxey show and the Embiid when he did play.
Yeah, there's three takeaways I took from this. The first one is so Morey just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Chubby bastard.
We've had this new guy for a week. And we've already got we drafted our bench scorer, maybe the next SGA. We got a backup center for Embiid from the NBA champion, New York Knicks. We got our starting power forward from Cleveland, Danny Wade, the other D Wade.
Oh yeah.
And then not only we get Jaylen Brown yesterday, but we get Anthony Simmons this afternoon.
Yes, we did sign a Simmons, just not the one you thought.
Yeah, not the other Simmons, the good one.
Yeah.
He averaged 15 points off the bench.
I thought
the one thing that was killing us last year, we had no depth. Now we have depth, and we have 4 legitimate, superstars.
Well, and the white guy we signed, what's his name?
Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
Danny Wade.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you said that already. Yeah, I forgot.
The other D Wade. Yeah.
D-Wade.
Well, that's how forgettable he was, or he is. But we didn't have a power forward, before. Now we have a guy that can do the dirty work, can get the rebounds, can box out, can set picks, and occasionally hit a 3-pointer, which is,
helpful.
What I like him. Yeah, it's very helpful. So
the week began badly because it was like, well, Kelly Oubre Jr. signed. You sons of bitches. What the hell's going? Okay, all right.
Yeah, and Quentin Grimes at the Lakers, like, oh, all right.
And then the next day they were like, no, it's cool.
Yeah,
it is cool. You're right. Now, I did see people saying, well, now they just got to trade Embiid.
Oh.
I don't understand. Like, I still won't give you the injury thing because, like, you do it, right? But
yeah,
even if I did give you the injury thing, he still plays he's still the best at what he does when he's playing, and
Yeah,
that's
he's
on
still
a knee and a half.
yeah, he's still the best big man in the league. And with Jaylen Brown, all
Like,
the games that Embiid misses are not automatic losses like they would
and
be.
that's if there is misses. I
Mhm.
guarantee you, and I bet that there was a conversation with Maury, like, are we gonna do something? Because like I got 1 year left, or are we not gonna, or what are we gonna do? And
Yeah.
Maury was like,
Oh,
food. This fat guy called another guy fat. Yeah, I have slightly more hair than him, so he kissed my ass. And so they fired him and brought someone that was in. Like, all right, cool, we'll get somebody for you.
Mm.
Okay. I will tell you this right now. If the Sixers go to the final, I'm going to be so insufferable.
oh yeah.
Oh,
Dan, if we just get to the Eastern Conference
I'm
Finals,
going to be such a prick.
yes, it's never going away. I'm gonna
No.
be like
No.
I'm gonna be like Derek after the Knicks won the championship.
I'm going to be like Derek
Um,
after they won the Eastern Conference.
yeah,
I'm going to be
or
such a prick. And deservedly so.
no, it's
On
okay.
Derek's end.
Um,
But they were all Philly guys. I just want to point that out. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of pricks, I was gonna get this back uh
Wrestling.
to wrestling.
Go ahead.
I haven't watched AEW in the last 2 weeks.
Neither have I. Go ahead.
And not that there are any
I haven't
pricks
watched
on
WWE in 2 weeks either, other than Night
yeah.
of Champions.
I mean I watch Night of Champions. I watched the Saudi Arabia and I watched Raw from this past Monday with the return of Brock. And I'm seeing I know I started AEW, but I'll get back to that.
Go
But
ahead.
with WWE, we're seeing maybe the dissolution of the Vision. The Street Profits are your new tag team champions. I don't see any tag teams in SmackDown that are worth a darn. They're going to try to push the War Raiders again against the Street Profits, but the lack of uh, tag teams, period, is lacking. I'd like to see where I think the Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns feud that they're teasing. I think that should be a WrestleMania match. I don't think it should, and it shouldn't be for a title. Because that was a hell of a promo that Seth cut, and pretty much even like telegraphing that he's going to be the one to induct Roman into the Hall of Fame.
That was a good touch. Yes,
that was a great touch. I don't want to see that at WrestleMania. I think it. I don't want to see it for the championship. Put it that way. Especially if Oba forgoes his championship and goes against Brock at SummerSlam, and then you have Seth versus Roman for his title, and then Sami versus whoever for his title. Yeah, just is a lot going on, and it seems like everything is geared towards their next big thing. And after SummerSlam, then it'll be we have to set up for Survivor Series. There's no feuds anymore. It's like everything is just like a one and done.
yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was going to elaborate on the Rollins and Roman Reigns thing, but you kind of you were hitting on my points, so I had nothing.
No, go ahead. No,
the feuds are it's over for feuds. The attention, and this come from me. The attention spans are just. I don't look for what I used to. I don't mean this as an insult to anybody who has been watching wrestling longer than me. It's how I approach wrestling. I don't put any thought into thinking I'm ever going to see what I used to see when I was a teenager or younger.
Mhm.
It's just not happening. But at the same time, and I've said it before, the in-ring product, we could debate on what the matches look like, but what we can't debate is 90% of the athleticism is twice as much as we had in the 80s into the mid-90s. I think, as far as people being in athletic form.
Mhm.
Like Ric Flair was not an athlete. He was, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I will say Ric Flair looked like a professional athlete.
Yes.
He passes the airport test.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
And especially right after the plane crash when he was like, or right before the plane crash when he was 3 times bigger than he was.
Yes.
But the television, every television show, and I'm saying this across the board, because I watched as much before, up until 2 weeks ago, I was watching. Actually, it's been a week since I watched wrestling. The week before I watched everything because there was 3 big shows coming up, and I made sure I got everything in the hard drive and was watching it. All wrestling programming is unwatchable.
Yeah.
And this is coming from someone with ADHD, OCD, autistic, all the things.
All the alphabet.
All the entire alphabet, and that one too. I can't watch this anymore. First of all, the first problem with the WWE is their camera.
Mm-hmm.
And you still complain about it? Yeah, because it looks stupid. It looks fucking stupid. When you move the camera 40 times on a punch, to emphasize a fucking punch, one of the most basic things in wrestling, which still looks like a punch in 2026, I'm sorry, it looks stupid. Hold the goddamn camera still. At least in TNA, they hold the camera still. Their directing sometimes misses stuff, but that's about on par with AEW. They just like, oh, we cut this late. Oops. But anything on television, it's just advertisement bombardment, which doesn't help when your story writing is crap and we're having trouble keeping up in the first place. When you have 40, I don't understand how we get. I'm not going to get into Dana. I'll read that in a second. Welcome to the stream.
Hey, stream. Hey, Dana.
Hey, stream. Not to bring in the politics thing, but everything is about $1 now. That makes it unwatchable. That's why I have trouble watching the NFL so much. Is it's just ad, play, ad. Play, ad, play. Yeah, no, I can't. I don't understand how, and we're going to bring it up Sunday on the Shadowcast, but I wanted to be clear just to work in. I'll work in a little bit, but the physical media thing with PlayStation.
Yeah.
Where we're not marching up to that building with pitchforks and tiki torches.
Mm-hmm.
Is beyond me. How we're accepting, I have a point to make, believe it or not, how we're accepting paying Netflix for wrestling and then watching wrestling with ads doesn't make sense to me. Nothing will ever, this is how it's done now. No, that you don't, if I'm paying for a service, I get the service, or I'm not paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the only one, and I hate to give Google and YouTube any credit, is YouTube. Guess what? I don't see any ads. None. I pay for it. And that's the only one I'm paying for. Fuck the rest of you. Netflix. Here's an ad. Blow me. Dana says, breaking, not to be outdone. Darby Allin will attempt coffin drop from the Empire State Building antenna. Wow, I wish. Without a string.
Dan, I thought it was him for a second when up on the couple that was up there.
No, that guy was bigger.
In your place, yeah.
I don't care about Dave. And it's got nothing to do with wrestling. I don't like Darby Allin.
Yeah.
Reasons that will make me woke. I won't mention.
And we've mentioned
He's a nonce. What?
Yeah. And we've mentioned what your resentment, my resentment for Darby Allin and your hatred for him. And again, it's
yeah. We cover all bases with your hatred of him and mine. It's both wrestling and personal. It's like,
yes,
I can't like you as an artist if you're shitty as a person. I've tried to separate the art from the artist. I try to do it. I try to be fake in my private life where I'm like, I'm gonna watch this anyway, and I can't.
Yeah, I understand.
Can't. I turn it off.
I recently had that, and I'm getting off, but we'll go back to it. But when you said I can't separate the art from the artist, or the person from the artist, I recently had to do that, and it hurt. When I watched the Earth, Wind, and Fire documentary, which is absolutely amazing. That's right.
I meant to bring it up, and I've been looking forward to it, and I forgot to watch it.
I was like, I don't want to hate Maurice White. I love Maurice White, but my God, he was a prick.
There's a reason why people left the band.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
But it was just little things. First of all, and HIAC Talk Radio listeners, viewers, if you're Earth, Wind, and Fire fans, if you haven't seen the documentary, please see the documentary. Earth, Wind, and Fire was a band I grew up with, and the music spans generations. So did Dan. And the songs just never go away. And Maurice White's voice was the soundtrack of my childhood, and just everything to me as a youth. But him starting the band, and then once the band got going, he started his own production company with these bigwigs from Hollywood, and they had this huge wide studio where other artists can come in, and he had a big party, and had everyone there, like all the 70s celebrities were there. Didn't invite one member of Earth, Wind, and Fire. And Philip Bailey's like, yeah, I would have loved to have gone.
Yeah, he didn't invite me. That's the guy I didn't invite him on my solo album.
I was like,
I invited some other guy named Phil. Kiss my ass.
But yeah, that was the point where it's like, God, I didn't want to not like him.
Yeah. I mean, Michael Jackson. Not Michael, just his father.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I got kissed by it. Did you see Drewski has a fake trailer out for the Joe Jackson movie? And he's dressed up as Joe. Oh my God. I forgot to share that with you. I also forgot to share with Craig and with you and Derek. You're Craig. I'm talking to you. This trailer. I saw this. I was like, I got to share that in a group, but then completely the ADD kicked in and I forgot. See, I was double exposed. My racist grandmother loved Earth, Wind, and Fire. Add that one together because I can't figure out that equation. And then years later, it's like, or not years later, a couple of years later, when you start listening to Phil more, incessantly, and you're obsessed with him. Oh yeah, the brass section's Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, then you find out. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The Tower Power Horns is what they were called. Yeah.
I do like that they called them the Phoenix Horns because the band broke up Phoenix Rising from the actual Phoenix Horns.
Mm-hmm.
That was slick. But and Tom Tom's one of the best. Tom 84. The story, that's the producer. I think he was their producer in general.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the guy that produced the horns when they came in for Phil. It was Tom Tom at first.
Mm-hmm.
And Phil can't write music. He can't read music. He can't write music. He just does.
Right.
So for face value, when he brought them in, he would notate what he wanted with a line or a dash. If it was a long line, if it was a long play, blow. If it was a long blow, he'd take his time. No, he'd write a line or a bash for a short puff, and he would tell Tom, hey, this and the guys is what I want, and Tom would annotate it and figure it out. But Phil and Hugh Padgham. It's Hugh Padgham. And I don't have to tell you who that is. He's the reason why drums sound like that in the 80s, Phil Collins and Hugh. and Tom Tom sitting at a desk, and the boys be set up in the room, the horns, and then Tom Tom just go,
Yeah.
and that's it. He would be like, I wasn't ready. And then you tell me why. The greatest voice I've ever heard. I still, this is the making of Face Value, right?
Mhm.
And there is a 30-second clip. There's 2 30-second clips of working with Tom Tom. And I've seen him do I'm like, wow, he really just be like, they're on. But one of the funniest things I've ever heard him say, and I stole this line from this man, was them missing the start because he wasn't ready. And him just saying to the mic, the computer isn't as fast as me, and neither is you. That's a good line. I'm stealing that from Tom. Tom, thank you very much. But how did we get to this, man? I don't even know. That was you.
I mentioned Maurice Way. We mentioned we're talking about
separating art
Darby
from the artist. Yeah,
Allin.
I don't want to know. I mean, I'm going to find out when I watch it. But if when you find out Phil Bailey and the other guys left, you're like, what'd you do?
Yeah.
Oh, right then. Yeah, I tried the separating the artist with the artist thing for Darby, and I just it killed me to watch Sting be like, it's him. This is my heir apparent. You wrestled all that time, and Darby Allin's your guy because he wears makeup.
That's like the flimsiest reason to pair him with an icon like Sting. It's someone that other, wrestlers more talented, taller, that kind of resembled Sting, that could have, someone like a Wardlow would have benefited more from being under Sting's tutelage, or even Ricky Starks, or
a Stone.
Yeah, someone like that, but only because Darby wore face paint and Darby has innate charisma, and he obviously connected with so many fans because of his look and the skateboard and stuff. But the fact that he actively tries to kill himself every single match, and while his moves look good and on point and stuff like that, it's like he's more interested in how many horrific bumps he can take and then stand up from than actually putting on a good match.
We say that, but as I say that, last week also on Slammiversary, Jeff Hardy did the top of the ladder down to the table thing, and he hit it perfectly this time. I noticed he didn't shake. I'm too old to miss. You better fucking
yeah.
And he hit it, but I watched that going, Jeff,
why?
Come on, dude. I didn't.
You go to TNA to stop doing that shit.
I mean, I said that about a certain spot where a guy jumped off the roof of a building with another guy into a truck with glass, and I was just a fat mark that made no money. I don't know who I could be talking about. Still love the guy, though. Still love the guy. He's a tremendous talent. I will back him stupidly because I am that fat mark, apparently. But we're fighting if I ever see it. I'm kidding.
But see, all that doesn't have anything to do with wrestling, and that's what I fear we're getting away from.
You went to TNA to stop being seen by people.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the TNA rating versus the AEW rating? Let me look that up. Hold on. It's a shame because, I watched Slammiversary and the crowd was great. The show was fine. Maybe it was me that I expected more for their Starrcade, their WrestleMania Slammiversary, unless they've changed the idea.
Yeah.
But TNA could do a show at the Trump Fair. Yeah, but he'd want the other guys. What did TNA
exactly?
Do? TNA Impact last week did 188,000.
Wow.
So the low 188,000 for Impact, 332,000 for Collision, 592,000 for NXT, 616 for Dynamite and 1.2 million for Smackdown. I mean, NXT Great American Bash is 394,000.
Okay.
Yeah. These ratings are still really super fucking depressing, man.
Yes. Did
616
anything?
for Dynamite last week, yes.
What was it again? In here?
616,000.
Okay.
616,000. A 0.10 rating for 1849. Let me be. I've just resigned the fact that I don't think wrestling is going to see a boom like it did in the 90s, which was a third boom off the boom from the 80s and then the boom from the 60s,
Yeah.
50s, 60s, until well after I'm dead. For the love of real glass. All right, Dana. You win.
Crimea River. Yeah.
You win. Congratulations.
Crimea River, Dana.
On the other side of things, we mentioned Sami Zayn. Crimea River. I was a little slow on the uptake there, but I'm here with you. Nick Nemeth is the TNA champion. Was very happy with that as well. That match was great.
And Nick Nemeth doesn't have bad matches.
Never does. Never has.
Still, he's still he's the closest thing to a Kurt Hennig as I've seen from anyone in this generation.
That's a great. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. He's the guy, great face, great heel, can sell his ass off, can work for you, can wrestle for you. The guy can just do everything. Looks great. It's
Came
still
a long way from the what was the Spirit Squad?
The Spirit Squad, yeah. And just yeah. Yeah, but obviously they saw something in him because you look at where Nick Nemeth is and where Kenny Dykstra is. But obviously there was something there with him, and he killed it. And like I said, it's a crying shame that 2 of his world title reigns were snake bit. But the fact that they put the title on him twice means that they obviously knew what they had with him. Because, like I said, he's the closest thing to a Kurt Hennig there is in this generation. The guy can do everything in that ring, and the fact that he's still doing it is the incredible tribute to him and his perseverance. And I have no doubt that he will be back on the big stage one day.
We were pointing it out off show, but that's still one of the most recent loudest pops at WWE was what the heck was his name? And Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler, yeah.
When he won the title both times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then, we're not going to do anything with that. It's fine. We're done.
Yeah, his Money in the Bank cash in is still the loudest pop. And if you look in the last 20 years, one of the loudest pops in the top 5 has got to be his music hitting after Alberto Del Rio retained his championship. And here's Dolph Ziggler heel getting an insane pop coming to the ring with you wouldn't believe it now if I told you, but Dolph Ziggler came to the ring with Big E and AJ Lee.
AJ Lee, that's right. Yes, Big E Langston.
Mm-hmm.
There they are at ringside.
Yeah, and won the belt from Alberto Del Rio, and again sold his ass off. Even though he was a fresh guy and Alberto just wrestled 20 minutes, there was even it looked like that he was going to lose.
Because submission he got the hold put on him,
and because he had held the Money in the Bank for almost a year, and he had lost several times while he had it. But
it was like they were telling a story, Craig.
Yeah, you would have thought. And when he actually put Alberto down for the 1, 2, 3, again, loudest pop, that I've heard in the last 20 years. I keep going back to that.
Dana says one of the best live audience was that crowd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, we go back to it must be a Jersey thing because they were the same crowd that was doing the Fandango. Um,
Yes, that's what it was.
yeah, and well after the show was over, a friend of mine was there on the subway. People that was a YouTube video went viral of everyone on the New York City subway, DTFing. So, doing the Fandango, folks.
I got the.
I'm
I
for our
got
listeners,
it.
our viewers.
All right.
Yeah, but that thing, just like the ratings that we're seeing now, we're not going to see that. I don't know when we're going to see that. And especially with WWE right now, they're in position. They've got several young stars that can be crossover mainstream appeal like Oba, like Trick, like Javon Evans. I think LA Knight has got a lot. He would do great on on the red carpet on a talk show. You can sell him as your world champion real easy. So you've got options. You've got bullets in the chamber, something that they haven't always had. But if you keep for looking at the same people, it's always Roman. It's always I'm not saying Cody's stale, but if you have somebody new, it wouldn't kill the product. But it's always Roman. It's always Seth. It's always the same people over and over again. I honestly thought the Jey Uso experiment was over with. But apparently they're still
yeah, good.
they're still milking that dead cow to squeeze out.
I was
And
trying
you're
to
gonna
look
turn.
for the picture of me and Dolph Ziggler, and I can't.
Okay, it's in there somewhere.
Uh,
Speaking of things that they weren't what they used to be, our favorite radio show was talking about mentioning birthdays.
wow, Craig,
What?
that was very that hurt. That stung, man.
It-
You don't have to remind me. Ow. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Segue. But they were mentioning the birthdays today, and one of the birthdays they mentioned, turning 69 years old,
Nice.
was the best there is, the best there was, and best there ever will be.
They mentioned Bret Hart's birthday.
They
I
mentioned
didn't
Bret
catch
Hart.
that.
Yes, Bret Hart turned 69 today. Then Preston had the nerve to ask Casey, you were the wrestling guy. What do you know about Bret Hart? Of course, all he knows is the 80s is Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. And then
So you get a
he
text.
said, which, and then Preston goes, which one was the guy that died from when he hit his head on the turnbuckle?
Yeah, that was his brother.
And yeah, and he didn't know. And then Casey said, well, and the genius, Lanny Poffo, I think he was a Hart. And I had to text and said, no, he wasn't.
Casey.
I'm texting him left and like as he's talking. So I know he's not gonna get it. Or by the time he does get it, they're gonna move on to something else. But yeah, it was his brother Owen who died, and Lanny Poffo was.
Lanny Poffo was a Hart.
Yeah, he's. It's clear to me that when Casey's wrestling, the fandom goes from the '80s and it stops. Or it began and ended with.
Yeah, he's
with
one
Hulk
of the
Hogan.
ones that grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went and I would want to tell him if I had time or if I was on the show, like I should be, that the 80s were that Bret Hart was there during the Hulkamania times. He was usually in the opening match or on the undercard in his tag team, the Hart Foundation. And then when Hulkamania kind of died out and then the steroid trial happened and Vince thought it'd be prudent to get rid of all the muscle guys and concentrate on the quote unquote smaller guys, even though Bret, but yes, turning 69 years old today. The creator of the Pink and Black Attack, and a guy that fans could tell. I talked about tag teams before and how that one guy is the guy. Like if you look at Harlem Heat, the Booker T was the guy. You look at the Steiners, that Scott was the guy. And if you look at the Hart Foundation, or you look at Edge and Chris, you knew Edge was the guy. But you look at Hart Foundation, everyone knew it was Bret. I mean, there was an informal poll taken here, Joel Goodhart, when he did he was doing the Rock and Wrestling Radio.
Joel Goodhart.
Shout out to Joe Goodhart. But he'd ask fans, like, who's the best wrestler in the WWF, and they'd say it was Bret Hart. And this was back when he was still in the Hart Foundation, and they didn't even have any belts then. It was like in the late 80s when the Hart Foundation had turned face. And everyone, like to a man, said that Bret Hart was the best wrestler in the Federation. He doesn't even have a belt. So that was telling back then, but anyone with eyes could see that he was, the best wrestler, and what the late great Gorilla would say, he's got excellence of execution.
And man, he rode that into the sunset.
Yes.
The excellence of execution. Once he said that, it was like, well, I'll be taking that. Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a guy that's a favorite wrestler of many of today's wrestlers.
I do think it's real cute that I see Joel Goodhart popping up, and this is fine because Joel's awesome. Joel never treated me badly. He was always fun. His interviews were always fucking fantastic. We were doing that 13 years ago before everybody else was like, "Oh, Joel's still around. Let me interview him."
Yeah.
Right to ECWA, TWA.
Some of the best matches I attended at this convention center were thanks to Joel Goodhart, because I won free tickets on all of those trivia contests.
He was booking all those shows. That was the guy.
And his TWA, Tri-State Wrestling Alliance, where he flew in big stars that I'd only seen in the After magazines, to Philly. Kevin Von Erich, Austin Idol. He had both Funks on one card. He had Sheik and Abdullah fight all through the stands. It was here in Philly where he had the 2 out of 3 falls match with Eddie Gilbert and Cactus Jack, with the first fall with the Texas Death Match, second fall with a cage match, and a third fall with a stretcher match. And that got match of the year. And he was bringing all these amazingly talented folks that I'd never seen before. He brought the Fabulous Ones to Philly with Jim Cornette as their manager. And he was flying them all in on his own dime. So that's why he couldn't sustain it. And that's why the Tri-State Wrestling Alliance went away. But from those ashes came ECW.
Literally all those guys.
Yeah.
I was watching this video called The Story of Joel Goodhart's Tri-State Wrestling Alliance. Well, documentary short. A 2 minute and a half in, Michael Tierson shows up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's right. Because one thing Joel was doing, he was all over the radio.
Yeah.
All over Philadelphia radio, New York radio, promoting those shows.
And Michael Tierson had a weekly column in the Philadelphia Daily News where he just wrote about wrestling, wrote all the news and the gossip that was going on in wrestling. So
I want to watch this.
Yeah, definitely watch that.
I believe it's only 5 minutes 32 seconds.
You need a lot more than that. That deserves a dark side. Not that there's a dark side of Joel Goodhart, but that story
deserves a Vice documentary.
It definitely deserves a Vice documentary.
I don't know how we didn't get one out of the WWE network. Like, why? How that wasn't one of the first things we saw.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't that big. No, it was.
Yeah, it was big.
It was big. It was big. There should have been.
There was no internet. There was no internet back then, but the wrestling shows that took place in the Tri-State Wrestling Association, especially when the big two were dominating.
He was still selling out the Civic Center.
Yeah.
That's like 10,000.
Yeah.
With WWF and WCW, NWA running.
And you're catering to an audience here in Philadelphia that's got the world's biggest smart fans that knew these guys, and we're people like me and other that would pay through the nose to see these guys that we've only seen on cable TV or read about in the magazines. Like, wait, Austin Idol's going to be there? Shit, Jerry Lawler's going to be there too? And they're wrestling other people? And it's like, Sheik and Abdullah are going to be. Iceman King Parsons is there? Iceman came in the Ice Baby, by the way, folks, on his ring entrance. But again, never.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Nikita Koloff, 2 days before his match with Lex Luger on WCW. came to Philly.
I kind of want to get him back on the show.
Yeah, why not?
I don't think I'd do it without Dean because I wouldn't not have you on because it would be the greatest interview ever if you and Dean. I'm not going to put myself over if you and Dean did an interview with Joel Goodhart because the knowledge you two alone have. He would never leave. He would never fucking leave. Joel, oh man. The greatest thing about Joel is like we'd be at a show with him. We'd be backstage with him. We'd be in the locker room. Blah, 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 blah. We'd be on the air with him. And then we'd see him at the diner. Like after the show, and he'd still go right into character. He never broke in front of anybody. Joel was Joel. We brawled. What is it? I forgot what we brawled and we did it all.
And we do it all.
And it was still.
Yeah, we wrestle, we brawl, we do it all.
And he still used it. And it was still like, well, that's the end of the conversation. We're
Great
done.
sign off. Yeah,
are the ads on YouTube where they tell you it's WWE superstar Cody Rhodes, and like they never had to say WWF superstar Randy Savage. You just knew. Yeah,
that's Randy Savage. Yeah.
Same thing with these shows. You had to Joel bring a name in. Everybody knew who the hell it was. You all read the aftermags.
Or you were there. Yeah, you were wrestling. If you're a pro wrestling fan, you don't need an introduction. We don't have to see world class superstar Kevin Von Erich is going to be in Philly. We know who Kevin Von Erich is. Kevin Von Erich doesn't come to Philadelphia. We goddamn know who he's going to come to Philly. I'm going to be there because this will be my one and only chance to see Kevin Von Erich. And that's the only time I've ever seen him live.
Wrestling Radio was on 610, wasn't it?
Yeah. Every Sunday morning.
Does Carmella have a? Because it was him and Carmella. I can't remember her last name. Did she have a YouTube channel? Oh. I know they did a TWA one-off last year, but I don't go anywhere where what's his name is ECW referee. Not name the ECW referees.
Jim Molyneux.
Not Molyneux. Molyneux's awesome, and we went to the same high school. What's the other douchebag?
Derek McDonald.
No, he was fine. Oh, Derek's here?
Yeah, barely, but I'm here.
Oh, sorry. What was the other one's name? What was the other name? Yeah, I don't remember either, and that's all I need to say. No, Molyneux was awesome. Jim Molyneux was awesome. Jim was also cool with me, and I won't even say more about Jim because Jim did more for wrestling after he left ECW in New Jersey than a lot of you know, and that's all I'm going to say about that, Fremont. Hi, Derek.
Hi.
Hey, anything happened in basketball this week? I don't know. I don't know what's happening, Derek.
There's a certain city who has hope because it's July, but we know what's going to happen come June of next year.
Yeah, we're going to be champs.
Yeah, I mean, they're not better than the Raptors. They're not better than the Knicks. Boston is still pretty good despite being a horrible organization.
Let me say this. I read that news 8 times before I was able to pick my jaw up off the floor.
I will say this. I do feel bad. It seems like you guys traded for a player that didn't want to leave where he was at. So you got to wonder what type of guy you're going to get.
I'm like, we didn't give them anything. There's still pieces of my jaw on the ground, by the way.
Well, then you look at Brad Stevens because he's the one that okayed the deal. And the fact that they couldn't get Giannis, which was their main priority. So then you turn around and settle for Paul George.
And poor Jaylen Brown, I saw him, he was like, I don't even know what happened. He was like, I didn't actually be traded. I thought everything was okay. But for a guy who's very pro Black in a city like Boston, I think it's very easy to get traded away in that type of place.
Oh wow, I didn't even think of that. You're right. How did
Yeah,
Bill Russell not murder a bunch of people when he was playing there?
Yeah, well, he did buy a gun, so when
I
they,
mean,
when the fans found when the racist fans found out he had a gun, that's when
Mhm.
They stopped
then lo
talking?
and behold, all the harassment stopped. My theory is this, and I'll get off this and we'll get back on the wrestling. What the collective bargaining agreement has done to the NBA,
Oh.
because teams now they'll build up, they'll get their title, and then they'll move on. With the New York Knicks, the reigning, defending, undisputed NBA champions now, that means 8 straight different champions. Denver got their title, and they moved on from their stars. Milwaukee got their title, and they moved on from their stars. Boston got their title. Guess what they're doing?
how has New York's offseason been? Anybody move yet?
Mitchell Robinson.
Is gone.
He went but remember when we won, right? Remember I came on here and I said James Dolan said he doesn't. It's this thing called the second April.
You did.
And I was like, he's not going to bring certain people back, even though he should. And Mitchell Robinson, unfortunately, was one of the guys who didn't bring. Say hi, Judah. Say hi. All right,
hi,
everybody. See you, Mario.
Hey, Mario.
Okay.
It's me.
But yeah, so and it's like players. These guys make millions of dollars, and then they go, "We don't want to pay the tax," which billionaires don't want to pay tax. Imagine that.
Yeah.
But
a rich white dude doesn't want to pay tax there. What?
Yeah, it's so weird why they don't, especially after you win a championship. Like you would think you want to keep the team together instead of blowing it up after you win.
And then you look at the baseball, the Phillies, and they go out to the Dodgers like that, and like, we're bringing everybody back. What?
It's a weird sport. Like I'm not a hockey fan.
But I noticed, here, I'll do this. Go ahead.
But I noticed. All right, so you can explain this to me. These Hughes brothers, are they all good?
Yeah, no, they're all really good.
All right. So the thing is they all want to play together. They said the only place they can all play together is New Jersey. But the owner of the Devils doesn't want to pay one of the brothers, but they all want to play together. Is that the one that plays in Minnesota?
Yes.
And my whole thing is, but they said but me thinking like a logical fan is, if he's good and he wants to play for your team, just pay him.
Here, let me ask. I'll answer your question in a way you won't expect. Who's the owner of the New Jersey Devils, Derek?
Is it the same guy who owns the 76ers?
Josh Harris.
So you could take your logic and throw it in the air because he doesn't have any. He's
That's
also
so
the guy
weird
that owns the Commanders, but everything's great there.
Yeah, it was weird to me. It was like, well, if he wants to play with his brothers and they can only play for you, just give him the money.
The Devils have this annoying thing, pricks, where they will. The Devils in the 90s were a pain in the. They were amazing. The 80s and 90s Devils.
That was Scott Niedermeyer and those guys.
Niedermeyer, right? Stevens, whatever. Better left unsaid. 90s to mid 90s. Oh, thank you for the correction, wife. She's forgotten more than I'll ever know. And I say that without worry or reservation. And she's forgotten more than most men have ever known about hockey. You had Brodeur.
Yes, Marty. Yeah,
she had Marty, and then you had Niedermeyer. You had the first. I'm trying to remember his name. The first Russian player to actually defect and leave Russia for the States. He was a goddamn devil, and I can't remember his name. I'll get it in 30 seconds when she hears this. But that McGillney. Mm-hmm. You weren't beating that team, and then they'll suck for a bunch of years, and then the ownership will wake up and go, all right, let's get it together. And then they'll win another cup, and then they'll break it up again. If they figure out the Hughes thing, and Josh Harris grows a set, or loses his mind and does if they had the Hughes, they would be annoying again. Except the last 3 years, I'm not making, this is not me saying it as a hater. This is me repeating what I've seen. The last 3 years, the Devils have had the greatest offseason ever, and they suck.
not to rip off a bad, open the old wound, but it's like when the Eagles had that dream team when it was like all those, they went out and signed all those
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. And
Okay.
we
How'd
won
that
7 games that year.
Yeah.
We won 7 games that year.
Yeah.
And that was Vince Young saying it was a dream team. We never said shit. We were excited because we got Nnamdi Asomugha, a 4-time All-Pro at the time.
Who just forgot how to play the position, right?
No idea that what he played in Oakland was nothing with how we played.
I remember that.
In the Eagles, yes.
Yeah, there's Quinn Hughes. There's Quinn Hughes is the one that's left out in Minnesota.
Yeah, they were saying, he wants to come here, but they have to pay him
He's
and blah blah
not
blah.
that expensive.
That's what that's what it sounded like.
That
Everybody was
makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't understand owners.
He's a rich white asshole, Derek. That is the answer to the question.
Look, I don't like the Yankees, and I'm not the biggest.
That
what's
rich
his
white
name?
asshole figured it out. He said, "Bet the money."
He would just spend the money. Yeah, and I can't blame him for that.
Oh, is that what? Josh, fuck you, Harris. And you know what? I'm mad at you for the Devils. It made you how I feel about you and the Sixers.
What were you gonna say, Derek? You're not a fan of the Yankees, but
Steinbrenner, he would just pay guys.
yeah.
I was like, hey, that's what you do. Jerry Jones used to pay people. Now he doesn't. But Jerry Jones used to pay guys.
Now now he thinks he's a plantation owner. Like
Jerry
Jerry, we went
Jones-
forward, not backwards.
No, but Jerry Jones created the very thing that's making it hard now because the free agency happened. And when Jerry Jones coming up on 3 Super Bowls and can get guys like, Ken Norton Jr. and Dion from other high, championship teams and put them all in the Cowboys. But he just didn't look at the future. He didn't draft any backup quarterback. He didn't draft a backup running back for Emmett. He didn't draft a backup wide receiver for he built his team through his draft, but he didn't build it through free agency. And the very thing that's what goes on with football now is free agency.
Yep,
and,
everybody has money. Yep. Yeah.
And people win a championship and then they'll go to another team even after they just won a championship. How many people did we lose? How did the Eagles lose after we won a Super Bowl? We have our new cornerback from the Seahawks who just won a championship, and now he's an Eagle.
Who was also shocked.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, what? As much as it pains me to say this, as far as Jerry Jones, there's no reason that team shouldn't have at least one championship with Dak.
I know.
That
doesn't make
any goddamn sense. And I'm saying that as a straight up hater.
And yes, me too.
He had the best offensive line in football for many years, and great offensive lines traditionally go to Super Bowls. The Hogs and Washington Redskins, the early Cowboys, the Eagles, Lane Johnson and Jason Kelsey, they've went to 2 Super Bowls together. But you have Hall of Famers on that Cowboys line, guys that are still playing, but when they retire will go in the Hall of Fame, and they couldn't even get to the NFC Championship. And my last thing I'm going to put the people that criticize my quarterback, I have to remind them that Dak has had everything he's had. Dak had the best offensive line in football. Dak had the best running back in football. Dak had weapons on the outside. Dak had 2,000-yard wide receivers. Dak had a top 5 defense. In the 10 years he's played, he's had all of that. So don't ever poo-poo my quarterback.
Jaylen, if you're listening, they're setting you up to be the fall guy this season. If you don't play well, they're gonna try to kick you out of town. I see the play a mile away, Jaylen. I see it.
Derek,
I hope it doesn't happen.
Derek, I'm agreeing with you. And Craig sees it too. I can't put into words or count on my fingers the amount of bullshit that WIP mostly alone. It's mostly 6'10" WIP. Joe Gigolo, whatever bald white fuck's name is. Fuck you, skinny little prick. White prick. Well, they just shit on this guy all offseason.
I know. I feel
That's
so bad.
all they do.
So bad.
This is one thing I hate about this city. Before we get too far gone, I know we can talk about this all day, and I only have D-Mac for a limited amount of time because he still needs to celebrate.
Catch us back up there, Craig, and then I'll bring up the last thing. Go ahead.
Just two things in this historian segment. Quick thing. 2 matches that took place in this past week that changed the course of professional wrestling. Last week, I didn't get a chance to say that last week was the 50th anniversary of what I still consider the very first WrestleMania, June 28th to June 29th, 1976. Antonio Inoki versus Muhammad Ali.
Oh,
wow, that's right. Yes, you shared the
1976. I watched it at the Philadelphia Spectrum on closed circuit TV, and this match was so big, got national coverage, that several arenas around the country held their own matches to coincide with that. In Memphis, it was Jack Briscoe versus Jerry Lawler for the NWA Championship on that same night. And I think in Georgia, the Georgia Heavyweight Champion, they had a match in the Omni, and the Ali Inoki fight came on after that. But here in the Northeast at Shea Stadium, on the undercard of Ali versus Inoki, you had Andre the Giant versus Chuck Webner, which was a complete shoot. And
really?
Yeah, if you look at that, you watch it again, Derek, Gorilla Monsoon was in Andre's corner, and you had Chuck Webner, you had Lou Duva in their corner. And when Andre went to grab him, Chuck Webner hit him 11 times in a row in the back of the head. And Andre eventually just threw him over the top. And I've met Chuck Webner. He's 6'6". He's a legitimate big guy.
He's a big boy.
But yeah, they that turned ugly really quick. It's on YouTube, but watch that. But the main event that night was the return match between Stan Hansen and the man whose neck he broke, Bruno Sammartino. Bruno coming back from a broken neck that he sustained in April, and it's June, and he's back in the ring. 35,000 fans in Shea Stadium, and he just beat the ever-loving piss out of Stan Hansen. Hansen had to get a police escort to and from the ring. That it was bad. But the main event, Ali versus Inoki, they had been talking about it from February on. Ali was on Wild World of Sports. Fred Blassie was on the Tonight Show with Ali, talking about how he was going to beat Antonio Inoki. And obviously, Ali was a draw because I and every American wrestling fan on earth had never heard of Antonio Inoki. And when they would show clips of him, it showed clips of him, and especially on WWF TV, beating up American stars like Dick Murdoch, like Ernie Ladd, and looking really incredible. I said, man, this is going to be crazy. Before the match, though, that's when the rules came out. And Ali Inoki wasn't allowed to grapple, no choke holds, no sleeper holds, no leg locks. So Inoki, in protest, just laid on the ground and was trying to, he would stand up, but he would try to sweep Ali's legs. 15 rounds. And there was one, Ali caught him with a right hand coming in when Inoki went to grab him, but because of all the restrictions that Inoki was under, because it couldn't hurt Ali. Ali was the world heavyweight champion, the boxing heavyweight champion at the time. But the tail came later on. The sweeping kicks that Inoki did, he knocked Ali off his feet a couple times. On his left leg, Ali's left leg was so swollen and bruised after that, and that he years later, discovered he had blood clots in his leg.
Yeah.
And it made it so hard for him to push off on that left leg that it cost him. He lost to Leon Spinks.
I remember, yeah.
Leon Spinks had 7 professional fights.
Oh, my God.
And this bout was on ABC primetime television. And Ali lost to a kid that he could beat in his sleep.
Yeah.
Because of the leg.
Because of the left leg. He couldn't push off. He couldn't get the get off. but that was due to the Inoki leg. And when Ali had eventually had surgery on it in the 80s, it was because of the damage that Antonio Inoki had done in that one fight 50 years ago this week.
He was kicking him with his whole fucking body. Like,
yeah. It's rough.
The look on his face, on Ali's face, the first time Inoki goes after him, he has to hop up into the corner.
Yeah,
it's one of the funniest, and I'm not making fun of Ali because he'll come back from dead and kill my ass. It's the one of the funniest. Like, oh, it's gonna be like that.
Yeah, like okay. This is the game.
And I had to listen when my father drove me and my brother home for that. My brother was bored out of his mind. I was a wrestling fan, but he had to take both of us.
You were bored of that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 15 rounds of nothing of Inoki on his back and Ali daring him to get up. And until they had to, he'd get on his legs and bicycle. Listening to the sportscaster on the way back, if you were one of the unfortunate few that paid money to see this Ali Inoki fight, and watching Inoki,
or a shoot then? That was a shoot.
It was a shoot. Inoki wasn't allowed to do anything.
See, I thought that was I thought they were both in on that.
No.
Wow.
No. But the thing is, after that, and even after the damage to Ali's leg, they became great friends. Ali was at the World Peace WCW event.
Right. Yep.
290,000 fans. Inoki was at Ali's funeral. They've been great friends. So
I love the YouTube channels that mark this boxing versus MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inoki actually did wrestle other boxers, and one of them was Leon Spinks, and I think he even wrestled Chuck Webner once and did better against those matches. But that was one bout that changed wrestling forever.
Who boxed? Ali boxed Gorilla, right?
Well, that was a to set up the Ali Inoki fight.
Right. Oh,
Ali was came to he's always been a wrestling fan, but he came to the Hamburg Fieldhouse and Gorilla Monsoon was wrestling Baron Mikhail Cicluna. And then threw Cicluna out. Then Ali got up and started. And then you remember Vic Vance, oh, what's this? Muhammad Ali's getting in the ring with Gorilla Monsoon. Oh, my goodness. And the fans were going crazy. And Gorilla's got to watch out. Those lightning fast hands that Ali could strike twice. And Ali was taunting him like this. And that's when Gorilla grabbed him, put him in an airplane spin, and then threw him down. And then Ali got up and walked out of the ring. Oh, and look at the fans jumping up and down. That was the beginning of WWF wrestling shows throughout the 70s. That was the beginning of it, was Ali getting an airplane spin by Gorilla Monsoon.
Dude, Ali throwing punches and Gorilla just...
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
I don't think people remember how big Gorilla was in his prime. Not his prime. It was towards the end of his career.
Terrifying.
Gorilla
he was a Jersey Giant.
Big
yeah,
motherfucker. And I'm not talking about weight.
No, he was terrifying.
No.
Yeah.
When you look at the end of the Andre Wepner bout at Shea Stadium, when it got out of control and everyone stormed the ring, Gorilla was physically pushing like grown men out of they would go flying. These were guys that were his height and his weight, and Gorilla just like flung them.
One last thing I want to point out about Ali in wrestling, and I always go back to WrestleMania 1 when Ali is at ringside for the the tag main event. It's
it's Orndorff and Piper against
thank
Hogan
you.
and
But
Page.
Bob Orton's at ringside.
Yeah.
And Ali is the enforcer, air quotes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a tussle where they all get in, and Ali has to get in the ring and break it up. But Bob Orton, with his goddamn cast on, is taunting from the ring ropes. Just as he's about to jump down, Ali swings. Ali doesn't half-ass swing ever.
No.
That was a working punch. And you could, the camera cuts to Orton after he drops, goes, fucker.
Yeah, like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
I watched that on closed circuit television in Florida at the Lakeland Civic Center, and the whole crowd gasped, like, damn. Ali's like, get the fuck back.
He almost killed him.
It's like when Mayweather broke Big Show's nose.
Yeah.
And the crowd was like, when Big Show got up and his nose was leaking, I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
What does that say about Big Show, though, that he was just like...
Yeah, he just had enough, and they said everybody just moved out of his way.
It was like what you hear where the Red Sea parts,
Yeah.
They turned around and was like, uh-oh. Paul's
That
mad.
That was I have two. That was one bout that changed wrestling. That happened 50 years ago. In my opinion, the very first WrestleMania and the first time you got
Hard to argue with you on that one.
wrestling on a national scale that got the eye, because they got eyes on Bruno and Hanson too. People that were there to watch Ali had no idea about Bruno coming back from a broken neck. That was 50 years ago. Today, as we're recording this, 25 years ago today, gentlemen, and I know you both have memories about this and I want to hear about it, was the other match that changed wrestling forever. Because 25 years ago today on Monday Night Raw was the first time we saw two WCW wrestlers wrestle on Raw. Tonight, 25 years ago, was about between Buff Bagwell and Booker T.
Which,
Go first, Eric.
I just want to say this. If you go back and look at the match, it's not that bad.
No.
It's not bad to the point they had to kill everything. And look, they killed it. You take two guys from WCW, you make them wrestle in Seattle, even though you're going to be in Atlanta the next week. Just wait a week and do it in Atlanta. I don't know if Buff came into the company with a bad rap or he just turned everybody off, but they lost a lot of money not keeping Buff. Because if you look at that alliance or whatever they wanted to call it, they needed every bit of star power and Buff would have helped. Also, and I think I saw Lance Storm say this, if you wanted to have a good match,
it was a WCW match.
Yeah, it was a wrestling match. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what turned off WWE fans. And you're right, Derek. Had they just waited a week and done it in Atlanta, you would have had a hot crowd that was very familiar with both men, and the two guys are familiar with each other. But Vince hamstrung by who he could sign and who he couldn't sign. Obviously, you have two WCW wrestlers on a WWE show. Booker T may have been one of them, but without a Flair, Sting, Luger, Goldberg, any of the big ones, you're rolling the dice. And Vince you're right. Vince liked Buff because of Buff's look and because he thought he could do something with him. But he didn't want a wrestling match. He wanted, if you wanted a wrestling match, obviously you get Lance Storm. But they wrestled the WCW match, and had Booker T and Lance Storm done it, it would have been even more of a WCW wrestling match, which would have turned them off. So not only did it halt WCW's momentum for at least a year before the contracts were ran out and that can actually bring in WCW talent, but the whole idea of the invasion angle was predicated on that match, wowing the fans, getting a big rating, turning, so it was pretty much Vince shooting himself in the foot. See, I know it, nobody likes him. I was right this whole time.
Yeah, and I've never ran a wrestling company, but if I want my fans to invest in something, right, I don't have my guys running the match, beat these two guys up, and throw them out of the building to end the show like they're trash. Why would I care about anybody? It's a miracle that Booker, it's a testament to how good Booker is that he survived all of that, because they were sabotaged from day one.
I am very glad you said that, because looking back on it, I remember after that segment being completely like, oh, this is over.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point in watching any more of this for WCW. Whatever happens, it's over. And it didn't help. Okay, this is the brain processing this at, how old was I? 17, 18? Wow, the WCW logo looks better than it ever has. That might be my favorite WCW logo, and it was used for 6 months on WWF television. Even better than the original. I don't know. It was just sleek. Number two, nobody on Raw wants to watch these two wrestle. You just hear like that. No.
And this is after, confuse me, Booker attacked Steve Austin before this match, right?
King of the Ring. This is WCW time, bitch.
Yeah, and then you have him wrestle Buff Bagwell.
Not helping, Vince. Not helping. And then you have them wrestle for 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then
At
Austin
the end
runs
of, at
out.
the end of the show.
Yeah, at the end of the show, they turn all the lights off, so it looks like a Nitro. It's like, I understand why Vince did it that way. Like, don't get me wrong, I get it. He didn't care. This was by design, but at the same time, don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining. I know you don't care. You know what I mean? I know you don't care. Yeah, I knew soon after that. Hi, Judah. I knew soon after that it was over.
Yeah.
Mario's taking over, Derek. I knew soon after that it was over. And then later on you hear the reason why Buff was canned was because his mom called out sick for him.
Yeah.
I just remember Jim Ross going, "It was very nice talking to you, and I appreciate the phone call, but this is the last time you and I will ever be speaking about your son's career on the phone." I was like, well, that's over. My Buff.
Like I said, good for Booker, because if I'm not mistaken, didn't he break Austin's tailbone
when he slammed it? He broke he broke his hand.
Broke his hand, and the cash cow, and they still good for Booker. But they were doing like all these stories you hear, like they had guys showing up to train. Like guys that have been wrestling for years, you have them show up and do training like they're new guys. Like Hurricane Holmes was like, yeah, they had to show up and we were like running drills. I was like, these guys are professionals. Why would you do that? But
because of the ego of Vince McMahon, that you haven't really wrestled until you wrestled in WWE. And whatever you learned in WCW or in Japan or Mexico or in the Indies, we're going to deprogram you from that so you wrestle the WWE way. And they even said that on a episode of Tough Enough, because they had a couple of indie guys. This is like the second or third year of Tough Enough. They had a couple of indie guys that had wrestled, had been wrestling for at least 3 years, and get to WWE, and they were doing a drop toe hold. And it was Terry, not Terry Reynolds, the good Terry Powerrr.
Yeah.
And she was telling them, no, we're doing this the WWE way. I think it was Chris Nowinski that she said that to him.
Yeah, she had this like, listen, I don't care what you know. Stop. We're doing it my way, which is we're doing it our way. That's it. Yeah. Wow, one of the best trainers there was Terry, by the way.
I couldn't imagine buying something.
Corey.
Signing something, you buy something and then wanting it to fail. That I never understood why he did that with WCW and ECW.
And he still did it all the way up until WrestleMania, Derek, with with Sting versus with Hunter. It wouldn't have hurt the business at all if you had Sting win his first match in his first WrestleMania, his first match in WWE. It wouldn't have hurt anyone. But see, he wanted his guys have to win to prove that we were better all along. That's even though you all wrestle for the same company, no matter, you win because you've acquired all of this. So why would it hurt you to have Sting or any WCW guy go over a WWE guy?
Go ahead.
I was watching Stevie Rich's podcast, and he's talking about the invasion they did.
Yeah.
They did the invasion, and he goes, at SummerSlam, I think it was 97. They were going to do Sandman and Tommy Dreamer against RVD and Sabu.
Oh, yeah,
They were going to put it on that pay-per-view. And he goes, the reason it didn't happen is because RVD showed up to a Raw and Vince didn't want RVD to beat the roadie. And that caused them to clash and was like, just forget the whole plan. And he's like, even if you think WWF guys are better, look where the roadie is on your television and look where Robin Dev is on. And he goes, why wouldn't you want him to beat the enhancement guy?
Oh, okay.
He was like, so it was doomed from the beginning. But that just, like you said, Vince, our guys have to beat your guys to prove that they're better.
Hey, how come nobody signed Kid Romeo?
Then they send all those guys to developmental too, like him and AJ.
I at least we got the Booker T Steve Austin grocery store
Yeah,
bro. Because that's
think,
I know how Derek feels about that. Craig feels about that crap. But I'll watch that and laugh. I love that segment.
and I think that stuff helped Booker because if you look in hindsight what they did to him, a lot of that stuff was probably meant to embarrass him. That stuff, the stuff with Gold Dust, he just made it all work.
Look at the stuff Booker T survived. GI Bro version 2. Harlem Heat 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes
King Booker.
King Booker, but he made that, but he made it work.
Mm-hmm.
And the WCW WWE burial, and then that one match against Triple H that I still, when people go, no, Triple H is cool, and I'm like, that one time, I want to side with you, and I want to say Paul seems okay. There's a couple other things that are happening recently, and that I'm like, but that.
And remember, they put, when Shawn Michaels came back and joined the NWO, they put Booker T in the NWO, and they have a segment in the ring where Shawn's like, something just doesn't seem right. Something feels, and he kicks Booker in the face.
Out of nowhere.
Like, oh, the black guy. That's what it was.
Wow,
okay.
I forgot all about that.
I remember that. And I also remember the promo that Hunter did before the WrestleMania match.
Oh, my God.
Guys like you don't get to be world champion.
With your funny hair and you make us laugh. Look, horrible promo either way. But at least if Booker had won, you could go, look, you were wrong. Booker lost and Triple H was right.
And the way he lost, Derek, because after the pedigree, it took him 38 seconds to crawl over and put his one hand on his chest. He had to milk all of that for a 3 count. You couldn't just beat him 1, 2, 3. It's bad enough that he was losing anyway. That's one of the few wrestling matches I actually bet money on after that promo. So, well, Booker's going to win.
Yeah, yes.
You can't have him lose after a promo like that. But it's like, oh, wait, it's a Triple H show. What was I thinking? Just like after remember the WrestleMania when Rock and Hogan and the dissolution of the NWO, and that's all anyone was talking about. The Raw the very next day was Triple H in the ring for the first 20 minutes of the show.
Wow, I just watched that segment with Booker getting kicked in the face. Wow, okay.
Yeah. Sean goes, something doesn't feel right.
Yeah, like, he starts to pull the trick on Six, X-Pac, and then he goes, nah, I'm just playing. It's that guy.
And
Wait,
he kicks
what?
him, and he just goes, well, that takes care of that, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then they put Booker with Goldust.
And this is not Paul, and I mean Triple H, but then I remember Vince dropping the N word on Cena.
To Booker.
Was it to Booker? Yeah, it was to Booker. Yeah, that's right.
Booker was there. He was off to the side,
He was right there. And I'm like, I would have, okay. And then the comment he made to Roman Reigns about you're 2 steps away from a bone through your nose. And I'm like, listen, if it walks and talks and quacks like a duck, it's a racist. Yeah,
because God bless the Samoans. Alpha coming out and eating chicken off the bone with the head shrinkers was horrible. Why couldn't they just be the Samoan?
In reality,
why do they have to be savage?
You know why? You know what comforts me a little bit in reality, Derek? Either one of those guys, not either, any one of those guys could have just destroyed Vince where he stood.
Yeah.
Or mostly anybody.
There's a story that said the McMahon Anoa'i thing came together when Vince would like to party in the 70s, so his dad would send Alpha and Cinco to be his bodyguards in the club to make sure that happened to him. Like, that's how the family thing started.
Well,
yeah, Vince Sr. was enamored with of Alpha and Cinco, and they pretty much were their go-to guys when any new wrestlers would come. They would kind of like be taken on them. One of them was Hulk Hogan back in 1980 when he first came to the WWF.
By the way, sorry.
After Vince changed his name to Hogan because he wanted him to be more Irish.
Yeah, stop doing that. Yeah, because when you look at Hogan, you think Irish.
I did not know that.
It was Vince McMahon. He was wrestling he was Sterling Golden, and then he was the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Hulk Boulder at one point too.
Yeah, and Terry the Hulk Boulder. and they brought him into and Vince Senior wanted him to be. He used to be an Irish name, so we'll call him Hulk Hogan.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think I'm one of 4 people that understood the reference when they first called Horace Boulder. I was like, I got it. And I know the other one of the other 4 was Derek. The only other side note I'll say about the WCW and WWE thing is if I was Vince and I was that petty, I would have gone in and digitized that WCW logo on every single goddamn piece of footage I had.
Yeah.
That's how much I like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And you go back to the earlier point, how the more things change, yada, yada. It's still happening today because if you see any Japanese female wrestler, they're dressed up like geishas and they have to have some type of Japanese like headdress or, act like. I applaud them for even just having EO try to speak as much English as possible, which, she's still not good at, but there's nothing wrong with her giving her promo in Japanese and having it, translated.
It was great the other night. Sounded fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. I
And
mean,
if
that's
you
why
want
they
to
weren't letting Asuka cut promos at first because she didn't speak good English.
No, Asuka's English is better than people give her credit for.
I've watched her talk on her YouTube. Shut up.
What's her name has gotten good too on SmackDown. Julia, I heard her cut a promo, and I was like, oh, look at her. For something they claim she couldn't speak when she first got there. She's speaking perfectly fine now.
Yeah. But that's a lost art for your Japanese. But it still bugs me that every Japanese female wrestler has to still wear Japanese garb and dress up like geishas and
like Bull Nakano. I love Bull Nakano.
Yeah.
Did she really need the nunchucks? Like, did she really like for 5 seconds? Did she really need the nunchucks? No, just want to beat people up.
Be Bull Nakano. The hair and the eye is enough.
You really don't need a prop when you look like that.
You're putting a hat on a hat.
Anybody else? Yeah, you guys have used that a lot in the last year, and I love it. You both keep going back to hat on a hat, and I'm like,
well, it's
true.
Like when you watch.
I'm not arguing at all.
I know, but it's like you watch a steel cage match, and there's even a Night of Champions. It's a steel cage match, but there's tables and there's guns and there's candlesticks and the belt. It's already in a cage. Why do you need all that extra shit?
Yeah, it's like Aja Khan didn't work in WWE because she just beat people up. I was like, okay. So she broke Alundra Blaze's nose. Book her off of that. Make her your female Vader. But no, she has to have a gimmick of some sort.
Or what they did to Rhonda Ripper Singh.
Oh, well, yeah.
One of the most. I don't care about the fat jokes. I don't. People, you're fat. I'm like, okay, good for you. Yes, I ate like 18 sandwiches today. Congratulations. And 3 ice cream cones. I'm not stupid, but. It's not the fat jokes. It's you did those, but she was a goddamn monster.
Yeah, that's what she has to be.
Now she's a joke. I don't care about the jokes. I care that you reduced her to the joke.
Mm-hmm.
She's a goddamn legend. What are you doing, Vince? Other Vince? Derek, before we get too carried away and we lose you, what did you want to cover from this last week of wrestling? Because we covered the championships.
Okay.
What else did you want to talk about?
I guess there's a couple signings that I guess Zilla Fatu is coming, which leads on to the Anoa'i family thing.
Oh, I wonder when that's going to happen there, huh?
And apparently Enzo and Kaz are on the way back.
I saw that yesterday. Yes,
which I'm all in favor of. I'm sick of Big Bill in AEW, so
I think Big Bill is sick of Big Bill in AEW.
Let him come back and cash a couple checks.
Okay, now hopefully Cass has gone through some sensitivity training because Enzo was just a prick, and they were happy to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Cass was, well, I'm sure he still is MAGA, but he couldn't shut up about it. Mm-hmm. That's what doomed him. So it doesn't surprise me him coming back into a company that's that's also their head is also MAGA.
Well, just don't make it your personality.
Yes, exactly. So, but it'd be interesting to see, guys, if Enzo and Cass still has anything left. Will that play now? I mean, that was 10 years ago.
I know. And it sucks because you know who would have been the perfect foils for them? Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods.
I knew you.
Yes.
Yeah. As you were saying, I was like, New Day.
Perfect. And I guess people are starting to show up in other companies now. So I guess they'll be in AEW in a couple of weeks. So there's that.
That lasts a year before they're like, all right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Mick Foley's in AEW now, and his WWE Legends contract is over, and
Yeah.
he was very honest about leaving.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He was straight to the point.
Yeah, like, thank you, I appreciate that, but
Yeah. He I saw the message he did. Was it yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, he said he'll come back when this administration is out of office. So I guess Mick's gone for 3 years, two more years, I think. So
I mean,
I bet. Look, Mick, I love you. But if that's the case and that's how you feel, I bet not see you doing these segments with Chris Jericho. If that's how you feel and you can't be affiliated with anybody that's affiliated with that, you got to stay away from Jericho.
if you're gonna put your money where your mouth is, put it always.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um,
I know they're still friends, but as far as like televised segments, and no.
Yeah.
No, hey
everyone.
I'm just glad. I'm glad that he's so far being legit about it.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. You know, this is not 2016 anymore. These are unprecedented, and everything is different. And also my reply to those is, well, you make being a nice person, your personality. I said those things are slightly different.
Yeah.
So it's not that we can just ignore it now.
No.
Like I saw Trick Williams got some heat because they had the whole Freedom 250 thing
Uh-huh.
a couple of weeks ago, and he was there signing autographs. And people said, I can't believe he showed up there, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, he's probably afraid to say no. Like he's fairly new there. He's probably afraid to say, hey, I don't want to do this. But if there's one thing I don't get when I look at Trick Williams, is that he's a MAGA guy. I don't get that at all. So I'll give him a pass for being young, being new, and just being married and just doing what he's told.
No, exactly. Yeah.
And
you're the United States champion.
Man,
Yeah, and you're one of the big, most popular guys already in the company. And you're going to draw a lot of fans to any, fan fest event or autograph signing or a personal appearance. So, like you said, Derek, you do what you're told until you're in a position to say no.
Yeah. Like RVD said, they used to go to the salute to troops thing. And he goes, they would always be like, well, it's not mandatory. You don't have to come. RVD was like, okay, I don't want to go. And they were like, what do you mean? He goes, you told me it's not mandatory. I don't feel safe. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think you'd say no, but I did.
Well, I did. Yeah. Last thing, Derek, thoughts on Sami being champion?
Awesome.
Okay.
I'm happy for him. Right before I came on, I saw a video of Kevin Owens and Becky Lynch surprising him with like his new T-shirt. He has a new T-shirt that says, finally undisputed champ. Happy for Sami. He's a good guy. I saw Vince Russo say something about it's a joke and he doesn't look like a champion, but you made yourself champion, Vince Russo.
That's okay. You're not a writer.
You made Jeff Jarrett the champion when I had just finished watching him get beat up by China in WWE.
Oh, I was there that next night.
Yeah, so I'm happy for Sami. Hopefully he gets a nice little run out of it. It's nothing against Cody, but it was starting to get repetitive.
When you're a champion that long in this world of wrestling where everything has to be shorter, you go, okay, this is getting a little old. And the finish, like I did not expect it. I said it earlier in the show. I was like, oh, okay. You're pulling that out of nowhere. Great.
When he hit the double crossroads, I got up and walked out of the room to go get something to drink. I was like, oh, Cody was going to win again.
Come back.
And it was like 1, 2, 3, and I heard the crowd and I ran in like, why are they cheering for Cody? And I saw it was for Sami, but I'm happy for him.
I just want to point out to Vince Russo and who's the other shithead that said something about, oh, whoever
Bob
runs
Holly.
dirtsheets.net and Bob Holly, he's not a wrestler. Does everybody forget the first 12 years of his career?
Let's say when he was having the best show with every card
when he was having like the match of the night in Ring of Honor and CZW and everywhere as a guy who didn't speak.
Yeah. War Mask.
That whole thing, him and Kevin Owens when they had the ladder wars and ROH.
What the fuck are you talking about?
And I didn't see any of this. He doesn't look like a wrestler when Kevin Owens was champion twice.
Hey, you leave us fat guys out of it. But you're right. Didn't say anything about that Kevin Owens because he's a big guy. That's why. That's different.
Is Seth Rollins that much bigger than Sami?
No.
No.
So nobody says that to Seth.
So stupid. And this is not a shot at Will Ospreay because the dirt sheets and that guy got Will Ospreay involved in that. Like, you tell me he's a better wrestler than Will Ospreay. I was like, well, don't drag Will into this. And that was my reply to him. I was like, I said on his Facebook, are you fucking stupid?
Like, and Will's still not the world champion of his company.
No.
Like,
they're doing a lousy job of building up to when he will be. You have a bout in Wembley that's not even going to draw a quarter of a crowd when you should have been pushing him versus MJF like since the beginning of this year. And it does such a lousy job of building that up. So when Will Ospreay, who should have been champion at least a year ago, you could have taken away any of Moxley's reigns and given them to Ospreay, at least. But here's your babyface champion. Some will say legitimately the best wrestler on earth. If that would be I can't. It's not all on him because you need a competent booker, which AEW doesn't have. But if or when Will Ospreay becomes AEW champion, we'll see what direction the company goes after that.
Yeah, because with them, once you win the title, they have no way to follow it up at all.
Nope. Get the boot. Get the boot. Well, I was saying to Dan here, we don't have feuds anymore. There used to be feuds.
Yeah,
where you fight over the title.
That's why I kind of like Brock Oba because it's the closest thing we have to a feud. Brock disappeared and it came back to it, so I appreciate that. But yeah, there's no feuds. People they feud for 2 months, lead up to the pay-per-view, and then it's over when the pay-per-view's over. Yeah,
and then it's done. On to the next one. Oh, the Foo Fighters line. Anything else, Dan?
Eric Young is gone from TNA as well.
Okay, wow.
All right, anyway.
You got to think he's going to be a player coach type of guy in NXT, right?
That'll be the
perfect place for him.
I assume the WWE will be keeping an eye on him, considering they signed him twice and they didn't have anything for him. But they're like, yeah, we really like this guy.
And he's the other one. He said he signed and he said he left because Vince got back in control and he didn't want to work for Vince. So I give him credit for that.
Yeah, another guy
wow.
that talks, walks the way he talks. I like that.
Also, Joe Gacy is now going as Joe Sawyer.
Oh, okay.
And and if you go to his Instagram page and Twitter, he is starting to show his first dates coming up. So, Joe Sawyer. Well, that's gonna be hard to get used to. Blah, 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 blah. Joe Sawyer is going to be making his way to a city near you soon.
It's time for all of them to start showing up because Apollo Crews was just on the TNA show.
Yeah, so that's right. He showed up this week. I forgot about Uha Nation.
So good for them.
Yeah. After they could still make a living in the sport.
Well, there's 2 companies right now you can go to.
Yeah.
Derek, you have anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Greg, do you have anything else?
No. We're both going to enjoy our summers. Derek as NBA World Heavyweight Champion and me with a title contender to cheer for. I haven't been this excited for basketball in July in a long time. Derek, I was telling our co-host that the last time I was this excited was when the Sixers got Moses Malone. That was 44 years ago.
I wasn't
To say,
born.
was it 83?
I was
83,
negative 1 years
82?
old.
That was 1982. We got the Sixers got the reigning MVP of basketball. And what we gave up is
Peanuts.
equivalent to what the Sixers gave up to get Jaylen Brown. That's why I'm so flabbergasted. Because when I heard we got Moses Malone, I thought we traded Doc. Because I said that's the only way we can get Moses. If we had to get, nope, Moses is gonna play with Doc. It's like, oh shit, it's on.
I was watching ESPN, and he was like, Jaylen Brown has been traded to the 76ers for, and it's like the guy couldn't believe what he was reading. He was like, Paul George. I was like, how? What? Why?
I want to say Jaylen Brown was just quoted in the last hour going on the process. I'm not making this is true. Jaylen Brown said, "We've been shutting down the process for the past however many years. Now the process is back, motherfucker."
Wow.
Yeah, I saw him say something. They asked him what he thought about the trade. He was like, I'm still trying to process it.
Yeah.
Once again, I didn't ask to leave.
You
They
didn't
just-
have to leave. Yeah.
What happened?
They were mad at him because obviously Tatum was hurt. Brown played amazing, played MVP caliber basketball. He got them to the playoffs when nobody thought they were going to get to the playoffs. And at the end of the season, he goes, that was one of the best times I had playing basketball.
That was the best. Yeah, 2 years removed from winning a championship.
And they just they couldn't understand that.
Yeah, well, maybe it's a Brown to Boston thing, Derek.
Yeah.
But AJ said that being with the Patriots, it's like a dream. It's like, so what was winning the Super Bowl? If that's a dream.
Yeah, I don't understand these guys.
Yeah, so we swapped Brown for Brown. The Philadelphia Boston Brown transaction is complete. So we gave up a Brown and we got a Brown in return. What can Brown do for you, Dan?
You guys got the better Brown. So
Thank you.
They can deliver me a championship.
Done.
Brown can do for me.
Forthcoming.
And I
even
saw
need
that
Express.
I don't know if it's going to end up, but they said that the 76ers checked in on LeBron, like just to see where his mind was at.
LeBron wants to go to he loves the super teams. He wants to go to a contender. I thought that he wanted to stay in California, so I thought him going to Golden State would be a done deal. But I know it was either Golden State or Cleveland, because if he doesn't want to stay in LA or in California, you want to go back home. But if he sees what we're building in Philly, just
Listen, in no world do I think LeBron James would come to Philadelphia. But if he does, Derek, please forgive me. I'm never going to shut the fuck up.
You know what I like about LeBron? And we're talking about the owners, how when he decides what he wants to do, all these owners have to like sit and wait.
Yeah.
And they can't do anything. I enjoy that.
Apparently, the team has put out there that they're interested.
Yeah. Sixers have made no. Now that we have an actual GM, have made no secret of the fact they were like a LeBron.
I'm still telling you, Maury was in on it again with somebody.
Yeah, I just saw LeBron. I watched Trainwreck again last night.
Funny. He's funny in that movie.
Playing the cheapest man on earth. That's so funny.
I forgot.
I'm not giving Sunglass Hut another $40.
I forgot about that.
And I saw that Mr. Simmons, Ben Simmons, is returning to the NBA. He said he wouldn't mind coming back to Philadelphia.
I would.
He said Philly or Miami, Derek. So we're going to lean towards Miami.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let him play. Let him play with Giannis.
He also completely gave Tyrese Maxey the blame for, I wasn't hitting shots and he was, so I passed it to him and I thought, hit the shot, motherfucker.
And he blamed Thibault for not making the 2 free throws, or he got fouled on after he passed up the dunk.
Oh, my bad.
Well, if he just hit those free throws, we wouldn't be, or you could have just dunked the ball.
You could have just gone like this.
Poor Ben. He was. Hear about unicorns? He was a unicorn before his brain and his back went on him.
He's what Giannis was. He's what Giannis turned out to be. He was supposed to be what Giannis is now.
Yes, he was amazing.
And even more hurtful, Derek, we picked Ben Simmons number 1. Number 3 was Jaylen Brown.
Son of a bitch.
10 years later.
It worked out.
Son of a bitch, Craig.
Yep.
Trade Joel to get AD to secure LeBron. Shut up.
And you guys could have drafted Jason Tatum the year after that, right?
Yeah.
We had the number 1 pick, and we picked Markelle Fultz, and Jason Tatum was number 3. Yeah, so that's 2.
How'd that go for us.
They drafted Fultz and then they realized his jumper is broken.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was our fault. That's what he told me.
He still holds the NBA record for the youngest player ever to have a triple-double. So, as rookie year, so we have that to hang our hat on. And speaking of hanging, why don't we hang up, Dan?
Oh, gee, okay, fine. I guess we're done. Craig, where can people follow you?
It's a segue that you can break your neck on, folks. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads at Craig Ligon, CraigLigeons. See Supergirl.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go see it this weekend.
Yeah, listen. I'm glad you said it. I'm not gonna make this long. This movie is not breaking like minds here. No comic book movie ever again is gonna do that. But this movie, I don't know what. I said it 100 times the last 10 years, and I'll say again, I don't know what people are going to the movies for and looking for. This movie was a lot of fun. Supergirl kicks a lot of ass. There was a good message. I loved the end where she was like, "No, you'll never feel better. Come here."
Like she's a girl, Dan.
Oh,
she's a girl.
I forget. She's an ugly girl, apparently.
Like the Marvels. Now they all hated the Marvels.
Mm-hmm.
She's an ugly girl. And meanwhile, guys fatter with me with less of a neck are going, she's ugly.
When you have so many critics openly campaigning for Sydney Sweeney to take the role, and when they found out Billy Alcott got cast in it, they were beside themselves. Well, I'm already not going to like it.
I still don't know what I'm supposed to like Sydney Sweeney for.
Just good genes.
There's two reasons. I just wish I could put my finger on them.
I wish I could literally put my entire hand on them.
Yeah.
But I don't want her to be Supergirl.
Let me know what you think, Derek, when you do.
Yes, please text us. Follow me on go to danlaw.tv and follow me on, except for Instagram, because Meta's recovery system is broken and it's my problem apparently. So I've been locked out of my Instagram. So you follow me now on Instagram at danlault83 because it's an alternate. It's punny. You sons of bitches. I'm working here. Help me. Good night, folks. Punch your local Nazi. Don't look into the algae. Keep it on the paper. It wasn't me. It was Shaggy. Good night.
And there you have it. It's the end of the show. It's the end of the show, motherfucker.